All right, welcome. ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Thursday, the 2nd of March. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast. However you're listening to us, I appreciate you. I love you long time. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you do all that good stuff. That's good for the algorithm. Then everybody knows the algorithm makes me the monies, and everybody's so happy. Everybody's thrilled. So we got a lot to get to today. We got a lot going on here. I think we're going to have some fun. We're gonna talk some wrestling. We're gonna talk some combat sports today. Alex Marvez, All Elite Wrestling, used to cover the Dolphins. Everybody knows that. Sirius XM NFL Radio. He's gonna join us on the show today. Huge pay-per-view this weekend for AEW Revolution. My man Yuli Diaz, local fighter. He just won a fight in London this past weekend. We're gonna get my man Yuli. He hasn't been on the show in a few months. So yeah, we're gonna get Yuli on the show here. We're going to talk to him as well. So we're going to do a lot of combat sports kind of deal. We're going to get you updated up to speed on what's going on with AEW this weekend. But obviously the big story is the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat last night are going to take a quick back seat so I can tell you right quick what I've been up to this morning. Great morning. And by the way, everybody knows everything ZASLOW Show 2.0 is presented by our title sponsor, Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. If you had an accident, if you got an injury, you need to make sure they help you get right. You deal with your health, let them take care of the extra stuff. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Mark Anidjar, Glenn Levine, Ellie Anidjar. Those are the guys I trust. They're behind me. They support me. And those are the guys I trust. If you're dealing with an injury, I send you to them. Nobody is better at it. You call 911 first, then you get an attorney on the phone immediately when you call 800-747-3733. My guys there, Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. So, I would be in a bad mood because I'm about to talk about the Heat, but I can't be in a bad mood. I'm in a great mood. I had a great morning today. So I mentioned yesterday how I was going to be on the LeBatard Show. That's right. Hot tip. Had it planned for a couple weeks now. I figured, hey, day before, let's tell everybody. And I did the local hour this morning in studio at the Clevelander with the LeBatard Show. So you can go right now. You could watch it. It's on the YouTube or, the podcast, whatever you want to do. So this morning, I was there in studio with those guys. Really fun. Had a great time. Had a hard time sleeping last night. That's right. I was very excited. Had a hard time sleeping last night because it also seems like a lot of you guys out there, when I mentioned it on social media, it got a really good reaction yesterday. That made me feel really good. I think there's probably a lot of people who were watching the show or listening to the show. Like, I don't know. If you're a listener of ZASLOW Show 2.0 and you've been listening for a while now and you're a big fan of mine, I love you a long time, obviously. But I think you'd be surprised at how many people out there still have no idea what I'm doing. No idea. They're big fans of my show and they don't know where they could find me. They don't know that I'm doing this. They don't know that I still have a show. They don't know about ZASLOW Show 2.0. So hopefully there was a lot of people who watched today or listened to the LeBatard Show and like, oh, nice, ZASLOW. I didn't even know he had a podcast. So hopefully get a bunch of extra subscribers. Maybe you're listening right now. You saw me on the LeBatard Show today. You're awesome. I'm glad to have you aboard. So I had trouble sleeping last night. Everybody had me really excited. It seemed like a lot of people were looking forward to my appearance. I had a lot of fun. We talked about the Heat. We talked about the Panthers. We talked a little bit about the Dolphins. It was about an hour. Did the local hour, all right, with the whole crew. I will tell you, so major adjustment for me. Well, let me say a couple things. Obviously, you watch LeBatard Show, you listen to LeBatard Show. That show moves fast, man. It moves because there's so many people. And that was an adjustment for me because I've been doing ZASLOW Show 2.0, obviously. It's only me, except for when I have a great guest on, It's only me. So that was a bit of an adjustment today, not just because I'm talking to other people now, but there's so many of them. There's a lot of people on the show. So it was moving fast. I hope it came out okay. I'm trying to fit in. I want to fit out. I'm trying to fit in. So I think they were happy with it. I was really happy with it. I hope it's not the last time. So go check that out. That'll be a lot of fun. It was really good seeing all those guys. It had been a long time. And it was fun. I watched them every day. And then being in the studio, it was cool. It was fun being in that spot. So go check that out. They were really nice to me. and I had a great time. Obviously, people were looking forward to ZASLOW and fake ZASLOW. Yes, there was a lot of fake ZASLOW, as you would imagine. I'm real ZASLOW, all right? Fake ZASLOW is Mike Ryan. Everybody knows that. And there was a lot of that. I know you guys are really into that. You love it. So go check that out. I had a great time, so I'm obviously in a great mood. And there you have it. So anyway, we talked Heat basketball. Got a lot of that out of my system for them, but I still got more here as far as the Heat go. Last night, the Heat gets smoked by the Sixers. And here's how dismayed I was with that performance last night. It's like mid-third quarter, and I said, yeah, I'm done with this shit. Yeah, you're moving to the small TV, Heat. The Heat got the small TV. On the big TV, put my stories on. Was watching AEW Dynamite. That's going to make me happy right now. The Heat are making me unhappy. Heat get banished to the small TV last night. And they're banished because small TV's mute, obviously. So they were banned. They were punished. I punished them last night. They didn't respond to the punishment. They still ended up losing last night. So you find out the game starts. I don't know if anyone else felt this way. The game starts, and there's no Joel Embiid, and the first thing I say is, oh shit, we're in trouble. We play terrible against a team that is without its star player. You know this. It's happened several times this year. If a team is without their star, we can't win. If a team plays with their... last week, Milwaukee, we lost by 100 points. No Giannis. He left after 6 minutes. We beat Philadelphia, full strength a few days ago. Last night, no Embiid, get our ass kicked. We're terrible against a team that is without their star players. You knew we were in trouble at that point. But the game gets going, and it's looking like, oh, okay, Jimmy Butler, he's unhappy. He's tired of the losing. And then we get a big-time Jimmy performance a few days ago in Philadelphia. And I told you guys about this. I think we may need playoff Jimmy the rest of the way here. Can't wait until the playoffs for Jimmy Butler to really turn on, turn on the switch. That's the phrase I'm looking for. May not be able to wait for it. At this point, we only got 19 games remaining. And Jimmy gets going early yesterday, off to a great... So I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to be all right there without Embiid. Them not having Embiid, that's big trouble for us. Maybe we're going to be okay. Maybe we're getting a playoff Jimmy performance. And then Jimmy goes to the bench late in the first quarter. Bam goes to the bench late in the first quarter. And, the bench killed us last night. The Heat were ahead after the first quarter. Not playing any defense. We gave up 34 points in the first quarter. We were ahead. But then the bench comes in. Butler and Bam are out with 2 and 3 minutes left in the first quarter. They come back with 7 and 8 minutes left in the second quarter. And that stretch right there, we got killed. So it was one thing that we're not defending, and the Sixers had 71 points at halftime. Well, we had 38 in the first quarter. And once Bam and Jimmy went to the bench, and then our atrocious bench came in the game, Oladipo, Strus, Caleb Martin, we can't score anymore. And we only put up 15 points in the second quarter. Game over. Game over. Victor Oladipo, what the hell was he doing last night? And I've been sitting here defending Oladipo all year. I like Victor Oladipo. Holy shit, was he bad last night. Just giving them the ball. And we know his shot selection is very poor. Wasn't so bad last night, but in general, shot selection is super poor. And then you got Max Strus, who can't shoot. I talked about this, we talked about it with Tom Haber's show, actually, a couple weeks ago, right? Where you go, and I mentioned this on the LeBatard Show today with Amin El-Hassan. Here's a major problem with the Heat this year. The three-point shooting, right? And by the way, not only did the bench kill us because they can't shoot, they can't score, you look at halftime, the Heat had 4 3-pointers. Only made 3 in the second half. The Heat had 4 3-pointers. The Sixers had 11. Guess who's winning? Guess who's up by 18 points at halftime? That's the league now. I hate that part about the league, that it's essentially a 3-point shooting contest, but that's the league now. And you look at Vincent and Strus in particular, who are having very down years from 3. Gabe Vincent, and I like Gabe Vincent. You guys know that. Gabe Vincent, last year shot 37% from 3. It's not great, it's good. This year, 32%. Not good. The year before that, 31%. So, and I'm not going to use his rookie year. He only played 9 games, whatever. So the 3 years that he played a lot, he only had 1 good year from 3 last year. They're a great three-point shooting team. Team almost made the finals. You look at Max Strus, and we've had this conversation about Max Strus. Max Strus this year is shooting 33.5% from 3. It's not good. Last year, he shot 41%. The Heat were the best three-point shooting team, went to the finals. The year before that, Max Strus, 34% three-point shooter. 2 of Max Strus's 3 full years, his rookie year only played 2 games. 2 of his 3 full years in the league, he's been a below-average three-point shooter. For guys like Vincent and Strus, unfortunately, last year was the anomaly. They're not great three-point shooters. They're below-average three-point shooters. Last year was an anomaly, and the team was great from 3. And then you also take Duncan Robinson out of the equation, of course. Can't stay on the floor because he can't defend. Plus, his production has gone down every year since 2020. I mean, he's not a bad three-point shooter, but he's not as good as he was then, or at least statistically. And you don't have any three-point shooting. Now, Kyle Lowry was supposed to play a little bit of a factor here. He quit. He's not playing anymore. I don't know where he is. I know that after the game, he had more hugs and kisses with Sixers than he has games played this year. I know that. That bothers me. A lot of hugging and kissing after the game with Philadelphia 76ers after the Heat lose by 23. How about less hugs and kisses, more games played? How about that? So you factor in all of that, and all of a sudden we're a bad three-point shooting team this year. And unfortunately, that's where the game is right now. If you don't make your threes, you lose. And the Sixers were 15 of 39 from 3. The Heat were 7 of 29. And if we're not going to defend like we did the other game, where the Sixers only scored 99, then we got no shot. Because this is a terrible offensive team, and we can't shoot. And if another team is able to get going and score, we cannot keep up. And that's what happened last night. Last night was... I banished them to small TV. I had to. I had to get them off the big television. I had to get something that was going to make me feel good because I was excited about being on the LeBatard Show the next morning. So I didn't want to go to sleep angry about the Heat. I went to sleep excited instead about watching my stories. Huge AEW pay-per-view this weekend, Revolution. We'll talk to Alex Marvez coming up in a few minutes. But also I was excited about being on the LeBatard Show today. So go check out their local hour after you listen to all of ZASLOW Show 2.0, of course. So I told you yesterday, brand new sponsor on ZASLOW Show 2.0. Love it. Broward Meat and Fish. That's right. Brand new sponsor. I'm going to tell you about them right now. If you love good food, stop what you're doing. We all want the best quality when we're prepping our next meal, right? Broward Meat and Fish is your one stop for fresh meat, seafood, produce. You got a complete selection of groceries. It's a full supermarket. See, I didn't know that before I went last week with my man Juan from Johnny Cuba. Pick up a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba at Broward Meat and Fish as well, by the way. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But we went by there last week. Full supermarket, all right? Huge selection of groceries, frozen foods, freshly prepared hot food, deli meats. They'll make you that boar's head sub, cheeses, wine, so much more. That's right. I was at Broward Meat and Fish last week. Like I said, I was repping Johnny Cuba with my man Juan. I had no idea it was this massive supermarket, okay? And now you do as well. So Broward Meat and Fish, I can get everything I need. The butchers, the fishmongers at their full-service meat and seafood counters, they'll prepare your selection exactly how you want it. You'll get the perfect cut, the freshest flavor and quality. And here's also what I love about Broward Meat and Fish. They specialize in serving the Caribbean and Latin community in South Florida for almost 30 years. They know our community. Broward Meat and Fish offers all the products that remind all of us where we come from. The shelves are stocked with all kinds of international brands, including Jamaica, from Haiti, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Argentina, Peru. You're getting the flavor you love at Broward Meat and Fish. Go to browardmeatandfish.com. Find the location nearest you. Got one right here in Pembroke Pines, very close to where I live, but including the newest location in Margate. Grand opening this Saturday. It's going to be a party there. Food, drinks, live music. They're raffling off prizes. 10A to 4P, Broward Meat and Fish Plus in Margate. Newest location. And hey, we're going to be giving stuff away with Johnny Cuba. We're going to be giving samples out. Make sure at Broward Meat and Fish, Johnny Cuba picante sauce, finest Jamaican peppers. You know what I'm talking. I love a good hot sauce. You pick up a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba at Broward Meat and Fish as well. But come by and give out a bunch of samples as well on Saturday. Broward Meat and Fish, Margate location, this Saturday, 10 a to 4 p. I'm going to see you there.